Okay, one little important detail I forgot in the last one is what scripts to apply to what. So obviously, if you have a switch, you're going to want to put the switch script on it. Either a switch you press, so a button prop that you create, or a lever prop will be thrown on. The switch will need to be thrown onto that, and then you apply all the items. The items that you apply need to have whatever script that needs to be, like whatever needs to be done when you click or pull the lever or whatever needs to be applied to it. So, for example, these cube objects have the switch items script on them. Now, the switch items script are for items that have the is open parameter, so it's just on or off type of animation, so up, down type thing, or light on, light off, whatever. This actually there is a separate one for the light, but for animations, for anything with animations where it's just this animation or that animation, this script will need to be applied to it, the switch items script. Now there is also the spawner script, and the spawner script is, it says box to spawn, but really it's just whatever object you want to spawn. So with the trigger volume I showed you, you walk into it and it spawns objects at the center of that volume. Great for enemies, whatever. But if you want it to spawn in a specific place, you can, and I'll just show you real quick how to do that. You just create a empty game object. Place this empty game object wherever you want that object to spawn. Throw on the spawner script the object you want to spawn, and then you will drag and drop this object, this little empty game object, into the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you that real quick. So I'm going to add a sixth item, throw in spawn on there. It's I'm going to put it on incremental, one shot. So, and test click. I'm also going to turn off the player just so I can just show you real quick. So wherever that empty game object was, I dropped it into the switch. It has the spawner on it. I will click on this object. It'll run through the boxes. After the last box goes, it should spawn a box. Bam, spawned a box. Oh, you know what? I was having an issue with this. For some reason, it is spawning. Actually, I think I know why. It is spawning two boxes. I'm going to fix it to where it only spawns the one, and that's just because it's activating twice inside of the switch script with a timer on it. So it is spawning two right now, but that's how you would spawn something in a specific spot. That is one type. I'm going to go ahead and delete this object and show you the next one. The next one is the light switch. So I'm just going to throw in a point light somewhere where you can see it, so over the boxes. Then you will keep the light on here, make the light whatever you want, range, color, all that stuff, and then you will put on the light switch script. I actually implemented two things on here. So there's two ways to do this. There is stays on, or there's timer. So basically it'll turn on for that specific amount of time. Then there's stays on, which basically means once it's triggered it just stays on. And then there's switch on and off. And switch on and off basically means it can be turned on or off depending on when you click the switch. So if you have like a light switch where you can turn on the room light or turn off the room light, switch on or off would be the way to go. Stays on. You walk into a room, light turns on, reveals an enemy, something like that, the light stays on, whatever. And then the timer. So I will show you all of those. And I'm actually going to take the cubes out of the script and only put in that. So I'm going to go to 0, 1, throw in the point light into here, which has the light switch script on it. The timers don't matter. I'm going to go ahead and put on single. One shot. Good to go. Should work just fine. So with the light, it's on, it's off. Look at that. Okay. So let's go back to the point light, look over. So timer, it's on 0. So I'm going to go to 3 seconds. So the light will turn on for 3 seconds. Actually, best thing to do too with the light is just turn it off in the beginning. So the light is off. Why aren't you working? Go to the switch item. Timer, item count, single, one shot. I'm just going to put on switchable, see what happens. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Sorry. When you turn off the light, don't turn off the object. Turn off the light component. My bad. So you turn off the light component, click on it, turns on, 3 seconds later, turns off. Turn it on, 3 seconds later, turns off. I can switch it to stays on. So now it should just stay on. So there you go, it stays on. Click it again, still on. So there's no way of turning it off. And then switch on and off is both directions. So whenever you click the switch, it'll turn on or off. So that's the light switch. So if you want lights to be on a timer, put it on timer. If you want to just stay on, so like it could be off in the beginning and then like you just turn it on, bam. And then if it's on switch on off, it should just switch on and off. And to go over the switch script again, I just put it on single switchable, no loop, test click, and I threw in the point light on there. That's it. You can even close this list down to tidy it up. Item count will be gone and activated will be gone, so it'll be nice and clean. And like I said before, I'm going to change up the list so it looks nice and clean. I don't believe there are any other scripts right now. Let's see here. Light switch, spawner, switch items, and that's it. Those are the only 3 scripts as of right now that need to be applied to objects that can be activated by the switch script. The trigger volume does not need any scripts on it whatsoever. It just spawns objects. If those objects have scripts on them and they do something, like the enemies, they run around and chase the player, those should, you'll use that prefab. You'll spawn that prefab, and that script will just do what it does. It'll chase the player, whatever it needs to do, or patrol, or whatever. Only the switch object needs specific scripts to actually be activated, whether it activates an animation, audio, light, or whatever. So I will be adding one called probably call it an audio switch, and it will look just like the switch item script. The only difference is going to have an additional object on it, and it will be whatever audio you want to play. In fact, I'm going to put a list on there. Probably put some timers or whatever, but it's basically going to be you put a audio on there, the audio goes off. I might even implement where you can put multiple things of audio on a single object with the audio switch, and it'll activate all of those audios, or it'll activate them in sequence or whatever, so that you can activate audio when clicking a switch or when walking into a volume or something. So shrieking sounds, whatever. In any case, so those items do need to be applied to whatever objects that you are switching on or off. So far animation, the light, and the spawner. That's it.